I didn't slam the door. I didn't gasp. I just stood there, keys still warm in my palm, watching Stephanie trace a familiar line down a man who didn't belong to our family. The cottage was supposed to be empty. That was the agreement. Brandon trusted me with the place. I trusted her with my son. Trust, I would learn, is a currency best spent once. She saw me in the reflection of the window first. Her face drained of color like a lake pulled of light. The trainer, Evan, froze mid-laugh, muscles still flexed, ego still humming. I said nothing. Silence can be louder than accusations. Please, Stephanie whispered. If Brandon finds out, it'll destroy him. She stepped closer, hands shaking, rehearsed tears already warming. I nodded, slow, calm, a nod that looked like mercy. I walked past them to the kitchen, poured myself water, and felt something click into place. Not rage, not grief, precision. Brandon grew up here, learned to swim off that dock, learned to fail and get back up in that living room. When he married Stephanie, I welcomed her like a daughter. I defended her when she forgot birthdays. I paid for the wedding she wanted. I watched my son bend himself into smaller shapes to keep her comfortable. I told myself love required patience. The signs had been there. Gym hours that stretched late. A phone that never left her hand. A body suddenly guarded like a secret. I dismissed it all. I had raised Brandon to trust. I had raised myself to believe that people, given enough grace, would choose decency. Standing there, listening to the hum of the refrigerator and the sound of Evan's breathing behind me, I realized decency is often a performance. I didn't confront them. I didn't ask questions. I asked for names. Evan, he said too quickly. I asked where he trained. He answered. I asked how long he'd been married. He hesitated. That was enough. In my car, parked beneath the pines, I made the call. I had already found the number. It took me 3 minutes online. Social media is a confessional for the careless. Hello? A woman answered. Tired. Kind. I introduced myself. I told her I was at a cottage in Muskoka. I told her who was inside. I told her the truth without adjectives. Facts are sharp enough on their own. She didn't scream. She thanked me. That's when I knew this would be clean. I spent the next week preparing, quietly, methodically. I didn't tell Brandon. Not yet. Pain needs timing. I gathered receipts, screenshots Evan had left sloppy, messages Stephanie had deleted but not erased, dates that overlapped with family dinners. I hired a lawyer, the kind who doesn't ask why, only how. I reviewed the cottage deed. I reviewed the trust Brandon and I shared. I reviewed the prenup Stephanie insisted was just a formality. It wasn't. I watched. I waited. I let them hang themselves with routine. Evan's wife filed first. No drama, just paperwork. His gym suspended him pending investigation. Clients evaporated. Reputations do that when the truth arrives unannounced. Stephanie sensed the shift. She started calling me. I didn't answer. The confrontation came on a Sunday, because Sunday always feels safe to liars. We sat at the long table. Brandon smiling, unaware. Stephanie brittle, eyes darting. I placed the folder between us. I found something at the cottage, I said. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. Brandon opened the folder. Page by page, the air left the room. He didn't cry. He went very still, the way he used to before a storm. Stephanie tried to explain. She always did. I watched Brandon see her for the first time without the fog of hope. I handled the rest, I said softly. The lawyers. The trust. The cottage. She laughed then, sharp, desperate. You can't do that. I already did. The power shifted. You could feel it like a door closing. The fallout was efficient. Stephanie moved out within a week. The prenup held. The cottage reverted to Brandon. Evan vanished from their lives, from his own marriage, from the gym's website like a typo corrected. Brandon didn't thank me. He hugged me, long, wordless. That was enough. I returned to Muskoka alone a month later. Same dock, same water. Different silence. I thought about the moment she begged me to stay quiet, how she mistook my nod for forgiveness, how often women are taught to weaponize tears, and how often men are taught to absorb them. I don't regret the call I made. I regret the years I wasted believing loyalty was automatic. Justice doesn't need to shout. It just needs to arrive on time. And it did.